Now in this video we will discuss about Biot-Savart law, but going into the matter, before going into the matter we first take a view about the magnetic field. See here, a bar magnet is placed here, and if you suspend a magnetic needle near a bar magnet, the needle rests its definite direction. Is the needle, it rests in this direction here, rests in this direction here, rests in this direction here. So if we place the needle at some other point, it rests him in some other direction. That means the magnetic needle near the bar magnet, it experiences a torque, which brings about the turning effect of the needle to different alignment in different direction. The region near the magnet, see the region near the magnet, and those places where a magnetic field experiences a torque and rest themselves in definite direction in different places is called the magnetic field. Now the line is actually drawn. The direction of the line is actually from the north to south. You know that you are well aware of the fact that Earth is also a magnet and it has a magnetic field. So a freely suspended magnetic needle always rests in the north-south direction. North pole of the needle points towards the north and the south pole towards the south. Now, the properties of the magnetic lines of force is known to you have read in class 9. So I am not going in detail about the properties of the magnetic lines of force. Hans Oersted in 1820, he conducted a famous experiment and established that a magnetic field is produced along a current carrying conductor. See, AB is the conductor and the circuit is not complete here, the key is not closed here. If you place magnetic needle near it, anywhere near it, no deflection will be observed. But once the circuit is closed, then you will observe that the magnetic needle deflects in a particular direction. If the terminals of the battery were interchanged, that means the direction of the current is reversed, the direction of the deflection of the needle will also get reversed. That means magnetic field is produced, and it is produced in opposite direction whenever the direction of the current is changed. See here, when there is no current in the wire, there is no deflection in the magnetic needle. But whenever current flows to the wire, the deflection is observed in the needle. Now if you increase the strength of the current or bring the needle closer to the wire, you will observe the increase in the deflection of the needle. That means it is concluded from the experiment that moving charge produces magnetic field in the surrounding spaces. Now then it is studied in detail by French scientists Biot and Savart in the same year. Both of them together performed many experiments to study the magnetic field produced by various current. Now, while studying the various effects of the current, we have considered, actually it is the experiment conducted by Biot and Savart, and the law that we are going to derive is Biot-Savart law. See here, xy is a conductor in the diagram. Xy is a conductor of any shape carrying a current I. Now P is a point in vacuum. P is a point in vacuum. See here, one is cross sign, that means inward towards the plane of the board, and point meets outward from the plane of the board. So P is a point in air. Actually, though I have drawn it, we require a plane to draw it, but it is actually conducted in air. So P is a point in air or vacuum at which we are going to calculate the field. Now, we first mentally divide the current carrying conductor XY into very small parts, and we divide the charge distribution into the charge elements dl, as is done for a charge distribution of arbitrary shape. Then we will calculate the field dE produced at some point P by a typical charge element. Now, the electric fields contributed by different elements can be superimposed. So then we can calculate the net field E at P by summing, that means by integration, and calculating the contribution of the electric field produced at every point. Now we know that dE is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into dq by r squared, where r is the distance from the charged element dl to the point P. For a positively charged element, the direction of dE is that of r, where r is the vector that extends from the charged element dl to a point P. We will use the same basic procedure to calculate the magnetic field due to a current. Here XY is a conductor of arbitrary shape, irrespective of the shape, and the current carried by the conductor is I. We are going to find the magnetic field at a nearby point P. What will we do? We will first mentally divide the wire into differential elements dl. So I is different, as this conductor is divided into several parts dl, and then define for each element a length vector, that is the length of dl, and whose direction is the direction of the current. Then we will find a differential current length element which is IDL. Here we wish to calculate the field dB produced at P by a typical current length element. Through experimentation it is proved that dB is directly proportional to the strength of the current passing through the wire, directly proportional to the differential element dl, directly proportional to the sine theta, where theta is the angle between the length of the element and the line joining the element to the point P. This is theta, and dB is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the point and the differential element dl. If we combine all these four, we will get dB directly proportional to IDL sine theta by r square. In vacuum or in air, if the conductor is placed in vacuum or in air, this relation is mu naught by 4 pi IDL sine theta by r square. Mu naught by 4 pi IDL sine theta by r square. কি আছে এখানে? I কারেন্ট আছে, dl ডিফারেন্সিয়াল এলিমেন্টের লেংথ আছে, সাইন থিটা আছে, আর আর স্কোয়ার আছে। যদি কারেন্ট ডেন্সিটি দিয়ে এখানে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করি, তাহলে কারেন্ট ডেন্সিটি হচ্ছে I by A উপর নিচ dl মাল্টিপ্লাই করলে, if you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by dl, you will get I dl by A dl. A dl means area into length, that is meter cube, that means volume. So current density is I dl by V, or I dl is equal to JV. So we can, if we introduce JV instead of JdV, instead of I dl, the formula will be dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into JdV sine theta by r square. JdV sine theta by r square. See here, If you introduce r, then j into r dv sine theta. Now a cross b means ab sine theta, so we can write here in this manner: mu naught by 4 pi j into r dv. I have not written here the dv here, j naught r dv by r cube. So it is a cross product of two vectors. Quite simply, you know that a cross b means the vector which is perpendicular to both a and b and directly proportional to the sine theta. Again, I am coming here, dv is equal to mu naught by 4 pi ideal sine theta by r square. If you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by r, you will get ideal dl r sine theta by r square into r, that means r cube. Again, a cross b means ab sine theta, so ab sine theta means a cross b. Similarly, idl into r, if you take I common, then dl into r means dl r sine theta. So we are replacing dl r sine theta by dl cross r. So we will get another formula, that is the magnetic field strength for that element is mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r by r cube. Now the value of mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton per ampere square. Newton per ampere square means Weber per ampere meter. It has a dimension of ml t to the power minus 2 a to the power minus 2. Now what you have calculated is dB, that means for dl dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi ideal sine theta by r square. And if we wish to find for this point only, if we used to find, there are several dl present here. So if we find out the total, we have to integrate it. So the total magnetic field strength will be equal to integration of dB. Now place the value of dB, we will get integration of dB mu naught I by 4 pi dl cross r by r cube. Quite naturally, it is dependent on sine theta. Now when theta is 0, sine 0 will give you dB equal to 0. Similarly, at angle 0 degree and 180 degree with the direction of current, no magnetic field is developed at points. So if the points are along the line, if P is along the line through which the current is flowing, along the line which the current is flowing, then the value will be, dB will be equal to 0. Now another one thing, that is, see the formula here, I dl sine theta by r square, or 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r square. If you compare 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r square with mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square, that means if you compare Coulomb's law with that of the Biot-Savart law, there will be many similarities. See, r squared is present in denominator in both Coulomb's law as well as in Biot-Savart law. That means the magnetic field strength as well as the electric field strength in case of Coulomb's law, both are inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So both are inverse square law. One gives the magnitude of the magnetic field at a point due to a current element IDL, and another gives the magnitude of the electric field at a point due to a charge element dq. But you should remember that charge element dq is a scalar quantity, whereas current element IDL is a vector quantity, and its direction is specific along the direction of the current. Again, Coulomb's law, direction of electric field is along the line joining the charge element, but according to Biot-Savart law, the direction of the magnetic field is perpendicular to the current element. Now this is the magnitude. You have to also find out the direction. Finding the direction, you can apply the right hand palm rule. You can apply Maxwell right hand screw rule, you can apply right hand thumb rule. There are so many rules. If you stretch our right hand palm in this manner, see here, this thumb finger and the four fingers are mutually perpendicular to each other. If the thumb finger point the direction of the current, then the fingers towards these fingers are indicating the direction of the magnetic field. Then the perpendicular drawn from the palm will give the direction of B. Perpendicular drawn from the palm. That means it will be, I am showing it in this way. This is the direction of the magnetic field, which is perpendicular to both the palm and perpendicular to other fingers. This is right hand palm rule. You can find the direction of the magnetic field when produced by a current carrying conductor. Now another rule is right hand thumb rule. This rule is used to know the direction of magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. Remember, straight current carrying conductor. If we grab the straight conductor, see, this is the conductor, this pen is the conductor. If we grab this in this manner, in our right hand, is our right hand, the thumb finger indicates the direction of the current and the fingers curled, this finger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, this is the direction of the magnetic field. Again, another is right hand screw rule. If this is a screw and we are moving it in this manner, see the movement, this pen is the screwdriver. We are holding it in our right hand and rotate such that the screw moves in the direction of the current. The screw is moving in the, this is the screw, it is moving in the direction of the current, see, in the upward direction. So if this is the direction of the current, this is the movement of the finger, this indicates the magnetic field. In this way we can find out the direction of the magnetic field, and Biot law gives us the Biot-Savart law gives us the direction of the magnitude of the magnetic field. You should always do by yourself. You will have a good idea about this law as well as its application we will learn in the next video.